What's up? Oh, you're muted.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for asking. It's good to see you.
Yep. It's glad to be here. Finally, I've been watching these for quite a while, so it's kind of good to be on.
Yeah, sorry to have to bump on you last week. What's up, everybody? Out in the Facebook and YouTube land? We doing pretty good? Happy Friday. A lot of Facebook users today. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give it permission to show me your name. That way I know who we're talking to here. What's up, Dave Mackey? How you doing, buddy? Hey there, Mohammed. Super excited today. We have Washington Helps on. Washington Helps. He's been around the ShineOn community for years. When did you start selling ShineOn? This is at least 2 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, I think over 2 years. I discovered ShineOn in the middle of 2020. So I think
I was gonna say I swear you took ShineOn 100K, or at least it seems like I remember you on the calls. Did you take the Ecom Profit Formula?
If that's your course, yes, I did. If that's the one you're talking.
That was the first one I put out. Whenever that was, it was quite a while ago.
Yeah. So I think I did for sure.
Okay, so you've been around for quite a while. You have a very similar story to any other top seller I talked to, which is they almost all of them had training or coaching in some form or another. They either took a course or they took coaching. I'm just seeing a theme here, right? Anyway, today this is going to be really cool. We're talking about how Washington was able to quit his job. Congratulations. When did you quit?
Thanks. So I think just over 2 months ago.
Yeah, you put in your 2 weeks. And what were you doing before?
So I was a software engineer. I was working at the same job, same company for almost a decade to the day when I quit or resigned.
Wow. Good for you, man. That's incredible. You're living the dream.
Yep. It's an awesome feeling.
Definitely. Yeah, this is many people in the community. This is what they aspire to. They want to be able to make this thing that could be like, maybe it's a side gig or some extra cash right now, make it into this full-time thing that kind of supports them. So you're living the dream. I'm really excited to get into this, get into your story and learn all about it. All right, let's see if we got some names here in the group. Still seeing lots of Facebook users. What's up, Marvin? How you doing, buddy? StreamYard.com/Facebook to show us your name. It's going to be a really good one today. We're going to learn a little bit about Washington, his origin story, how he got into ecom, what it was like being able to quit his job. But we're also going to get into all the good stuff, which is kind of like, what helped him succeed when he was new, his methods for finding winners. We're going to tease out a lot of tips and tricks that you're going to be able to apply to your business. So it's going to be really cool. Before we get into all the good stuff, you know how we like to do things around here. What are you drinking today, Washington?
I'm having some lemon ginger tea.
Lemon ginger tea. We got a tea drinker in the house. Tea drinker in the house. That's okay. We are equal opportunity drinkers around here at ShineOn and at Coffee with Michael. Do me a solid, everybody. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, to upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Drink up. There we go. Things have been getting nuts in the world. We got Jerome Powell here increasing interest rates and all kinds of crazy stuff. I am so happy that after a 2-week reprieve, we're able to come together and get some sanity back in the world, to minimize the chaos, to spread peace and love and prosperity to everybody. Facebook user here feels me. They know how important the toast is. It holds the whole world together. Am I right? Bamin here says, congratulations. Toast. Lots of people excited about the toast. Yeah, let's do it. Do me a favor, if you like what we do here every single week, like the post if you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. leave me a comment below. Let's give Washington Helps here some congratulations. Give him some little hand emojis, whatever your favorite emoji is. Drop it in the chat now. Give Washington some love. Thank him for being here with us. This will be a good one. We got Laura here from Colorado. Sheila from Istanbul, Turkey. Wow, we must be on vacation. I was going to say, Sheila is not typically in Turkey. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's vacation. Washington, where are you at?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Washington is directly north of me as the crow flies. Pretty cool. I've been once. Minnesota is very cold, and they have giant mosquitoes, and there's like 1 million of them. They will literally carry your child off if you're not paying attention. Tell me I'm wrong about that.
No, you're right. I mean, there's more of a winter than summer here, but summers are gorgeous. So.
Yeah, I bet it doesn't get nearly as hot, huh?
Yeah. There are a few days when it's really hot, but like mostly it's pretty good summers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you're wearing long sleeve t-shirt today. If I did that, I'd probably be having a heat stroke right now.
I'm in my basement. It's usually cold in the basement, even in summer.
Yeah, did you miss this heat wave that a lot of the rest of the country's been experiencing?
I think maybe I was out of the country at that time for a few days. But yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, man, it's been, at least here in Kansas City, I'm sure it's been like this across the Midwest. It's been like 100 degrees almost every day for like 4 weeks. It's just been sweltering. We have like lots of trees around here, and it's been dry too. We have lots of trees that are like already dropping leaves and stuff just because it's so hot. And anyway, it's been nuts. It's been crazy. I'm looking forward to fall here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Sheila from Istanbul. Mauricio, I can feel the world shifting after the toast. That's right. Superpowers, baby. I am blessed 2020, joined from a Facebook page, says, I'm super excited. Let's go. Sheila's excited to hear your story. Got some rockets. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, very cool. All right, I got some quick announcements, and we'll get into the good stuff. Some testimonials, some swag today. Who's getting swag? Amelia, $1,000 milestone, $1,000 revenue milestone. Took me quite some time to achieve it, 6 months. Thanks to the advice I found in the group and the help of many videos, I did it. For those of you who think you can't do it for whatever reason you can, I started my Etsy journey 6 months ago when a TikTok video about print on demand randomly popped in my, I bet you that's a feed, some kind of feed with zero knowledge, just to give it a try. And I finally reached this milestone. I still have a lot to learn. Can't wait to get more knowledge from all of you. Thank you to all of you. Congratulations, Emily. Thank you for sharing your success here with us. This is pretty incredible. Now is a beautiful time, by the way, to be posting on Etsy because you have a little time to get ranked here before we're deep into Q4, where all your work will pay off. At any rate, Emily, the spelling on this keeps tripping me up. Congratulations. You got some swag coming your way. Somebody from my team will be reaching out. Next, we have Larissa, total newbie here, just looking to make more than I did my awful minimum wage job. July is my first month selling ever, and I can't wait to see what's in store for me next, no pun intended. I just want to say thank you all for being here and asking your questions, sharing your wisdoms. The group's been immensely helpful on the journey. Almost $500 in revenue here. It's quite incredible. Congratulations, Larissa. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing your testimonial. You got some swag coming your way. If you'd like to get some swag, every week we give away some swag. We grab 3 to 5 random posts from the group. We're looking for testimonials, new milestones, your first sale, first $100,000, tips, tricks, all that kind of stuff. Drop it in the Facebook group. We love it. If we feature it here, you'll get some swag coming your way, like a really cool t-shirt. I have my whole closet's full of ShineOn t-shirts now. Or check this out. We got these ShineOn mugs. These are pretty cool too. I finally was able to beat my wife to one of them. She absolutely loves these mugs. She drinks from them every night because they're big, they're wide mouth, they're awesome. So anyways, go check it out. Okay, latest news. ShineOnTreasury.com was launched a few weeks back. It's a whole bundle of courses. It's one kind of low fee for every 6 months of membership. And you get access to every course that we have in our arsenal. So go check it out, ShineOnTreasury.com. A lot of the courses, I think I put in a course. Kirsta's got a couple courses. You got training from all the sellers here at ShineOn. Go check it out. It's really cool. Next, if you have a product that you think has scaling potential, and you're just not sure how to do it, we partnered with Mario here. We have a ShineOn Scaling with Mario program. You can go to ShineOnScalingWithMario.com to sign up for a call with Mario. The call is free. He'll look at your product and he'll try to see if you guys are a good fit. And if so, he'll help you scale your product. If you've never scaled a product before, I promise you this is worth it, because on your own, you may only be able to get it to 30K a month or something. With Mario's help, he might be able to get you to 6 figures a month. It really does pay off. All right, finally, Shots of Espresso, dropping them every week. If you want to find them, right here in the Facebook group at the very top, go to Featured. Everything that's important that we put out, we pin to the Featured tab of our Facebook group. So if you're out for a week or whatever, you just want to catch up on all the news, go to Featured and you'll be able to see everything there. Like, we just launched a new product yesterday. That post is right there inside of Featured, so go check it out. Okay, you guys ready to jump into this? So real quick, this is a new GIF that the team created for me. I think Mario posted a GIF of some guy jumping off his couch into a cup of coffee. And so the team here at ShineOn, they went and put my face on it. And anyway, you're going to be seeing more of this because I freaking love it. I think this is super awesome. Plus, look at this. My facial expression changes. I mean, they put a lot of work into this. It's pretty cool. So anyways.
Yeah, you need to post that on TikTok.
Yeah, man. This is good. This is going to be all over the place. You guys are going to get sick of seeing it. Anyway. Yeah, Facebook user. That GIF is awesome. That's right. This thing is pretty cool. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about you real quick. So I want to lay some groundwork so we can get into this interview, the meat and potatoes here. Washington has turned out to be one of our top sellers. So he's been around for a little while. He learned the ropes. He's taken some courses. We'll get into all that. But I want to show you guys some proof and why you should listen to Washington here. So you can see here, this is a screenshot that Washington gave us from December 3rd, where he sold $71,000 in revenue with ShineOn products. $71,000 single day with ShineOn products. Now, this was in Christmas. Everybody hits massive days in Christmas. But how has he done since? Well, from January to July, Washington's done gross over $1 million in revenue with ShineOn products. So Washington clearly knows what he's doing. He's learned the ropes. He's hit more than one winner, and he's got a lot to teach us today. So I'm really excited to get into it. We'll bring these back up later. For now, I'm going to go full screen with just us. Are you guys ready for this? Give me some little fire emojis in the chat if you're ready for this. Fire emojis in the chat if you're ready. Fire emojis in the chat. There we go. We're a little delayed on the chat here. It's always like 15, 30 seconds, sometimes 60 seconds. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Very good. Mauricio always shaking things up. We got some dynamite in there. Okay, Washington. How'd you get into ecom, buddy?
So it was probably about 6 years ago. There's a family member who was trying to research ways to make money online, and they reached out to me, and so I started doing some research and stumbled upon Amazon FBA. And so that was like my whole start in ecom. You know, I was researching for somebody, but it piqued my interest, and so I got into it myself. And so, you know, the first year doing Amazon, I got into like supplements, you know, other health products, beauty products.
Wow. So you actually did Amazon FBA then for a little bit. So did you guys place like, you know, the way Amazon FBA works? So for anybody out there who doesn't know, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. It's where you ship your products in bulk to Amazon, and then it kind of sits in their warehouse, but they'll ship it out for you as customers place an order. That's how Amazon provides like 2-day shipping and things like that. So you guys actually risked some capital, bought a lot of product, and sent it
Yep.
into an Amazon warehouse. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So, private label my own, supplement brand. Of course it's risky because you have to invest all that capital and yeah, so
Wow.
I sold a whole host of products. I think my first product was like phone cases with very low margins. I don't think I made any money selling phone cases. But yeah, so the first year on Amazon was, a bit of a success. I think I grossed over 250K that year, decent, like maybe 30, 40,000 in net profit. But the next couple of years were a struggle on Amazon. I think I probably either broke even or lost money. Definitely in the third year, I lost well over 10 grand because,
Oh no.
after, private labeling my own products, having it manufactured, shipped into Amazon. And then as soon as I started getting some sales and traction in Q4, I had to pull it because I made a mistake with the name. So I ran into copyright or trademark issues. And so I could no longer sell that product. So I had to pull everything from Amazon. And so that is kind of like one of the reasons why I got out of Amazon because, I wasn't making money anymore and it was just too risky, and of course I was in the hole by that time, by well over $10,000. So I started looking for other less risky ways to still be in e-commerce. And that's where drop shipping came in.
Where was most of the risk? Was it just that like you had a lot of money up front?
Yeah, the capital that you have to invest up front, because you have to pay the manufacturers, you have to spend money to do all the branding stuff, the design work, and then shipping. And if you don't sell through the
Yeah.
products, there are Amazon fees that you have to pay, storage fees. And then if something cataclysmic like a claim made against your product, you're dead in the water. So
So
yeah, it's pretty risky.
what happened to all your products?
So I had to pull them. I did ship them to like a family member for her to try and like liquidate it somehow.
So you guys have like a lifetime supply of supplements now, huh?
Probably, I don't know. When I go to visit her, I still see like a couple of those products in her house.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
also one thing that, anybody new here that's kind of maybe new to print on demand or e-commerce, one of the things that Washington's talking about here without saying it is that like your feedback loop with something like Amazon FBA on like whether or not you have a winning product, that feedback loop takes a long time and it costs a lot of money. So it means you move really slow because you have to invest, I'm guessing, $1,000 to $2,000 in product up front. You have to get it into an Amazon warehouse. Then you have to put it listed on Amazon and see if it sells.
Yep. Get it to rank.
Yeah, it's not until then that you understand if you actually have a good product or not. Right? Now let's talk a little bit. So that's how you started, and then you discovered print on demand. So go from there.
Yeah, so even before print on demand, right, I was doing like classic drop shipping, finding a product on AliExpress, testing it out with Facebook ads. And then, if you hit something with potential, you try and like reach out to agents and have them source the product, ship them directly from China to customers. So I did that for probably a couple years, but it was always like a struggle and a challenge. I never did find a product that that could come remotely close to like quitting my job because I found a winner. um I would run into issues with just the long shipping times is like one of the biggest issues. Then you run into like customers giving chargebacks or refunds. And I think in 2020, like one of the biggest hurdles I ran into was just the fulfillment time. And then I had like a bunch of my stock actually go missing or being shipped to the wrong wrong place. Because I had a product that was gaining some traction on Facebook. And so I think I ordered like 800 units of that product from this agent in China. And then, I think it was during the time of the pandemic, things just really went horribly wrong with fulfillment. And I had a lot of my stock just being shipped to the wrong place. And so, that was a
And that's a
really
total
hard time.
loss at that point, huh?
Yeah. And so again, I'm trying to find ways to be in e-commerce, but have the least risk as possible. And so I looked for other safer ways to do drop shipping. And I think that is how I discovered ShineOn with US fulfillment, really, really good shipping times, order processing times. And yeah, so that was like the genesis of my, I guess, relationship with ShineOn.
So here, I just want to establish a little bit of a timeline on that. So when did you get into Amazon FBA?
Probably 2016.
Okay, so about 6 years ago now. And
Yeah.
then when did you start kind of experimenting with drop shipping?
Probably 2019 or thereabouts.
Okay, so that wasn't that long ago.
2018, 2019. Yeah.
And it was roughly, I mean, I think I released Econ Profit Formula early 2020, and you said you took that. So you were
Yeah.
in print on demand, what, near into 2019, early 2020?
Yeah. I would say early 2020. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. So that brings us to how you got to print on demand. So now let's talk about your experience with print on demand and how it was different than drop shipping and so on. Because I know that even though you got into print on demand, didn't it take you a little while before you kind of got the hang of it and hit some winners?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure
let's
did.
talk about your experience in print on
Mhm.
demand here.
Yeah. So I did start with t-shirts.
Mm,
Um, and of course, unless you hit like a really good winner, something that resonates with an audience, or you have like maybe influencers, like it's really hard to make money with t-shirts. Like I struggled personally to make any money with t-shirts.
a lot of
And
people do.
yeah, yeah. So it was still in the POD space, and so I learned from Joe Roberts to not sell T-shirts with advertising, but to do higher ticket POD products. And I believe it was through his YouTube channel I discovered ShineOn. And yeah, so in probably just before summer 2020, I discovered ShineOn and I started, testing some of the jewelry products on the platform. Didn't really have any success on the platform. So it was my own Shopify store. Even back then, it was my Shopify store that I really got any sort of traction. And in fact, the first probably 30K month I did was selling to Europe, the Shine-On necklaces.
It was necklaces. Was it
Yeah.
like the graphic pendants, or was it
It
one of the?
was, I think the Love Knot necklace was like the main one.
Very
Love Knot
nice.
and probably Forever Love.
So let's see. Love Not didn't come out till it was late. It was probably early summer of 2020. So
Mhm.
what time frame would this have been? Was this like summer, fall of 2020?
Yeah, so probably around June, July, August. I think that was the time I started selling to like a couple countries in Europe.
Okay, very cool. And so by this time you had taken Econ Profit Formula, so you had some basic kind of training under your belt, right?
Yep.
Now let's talk a little bit about kind of the early days here. Did you kind of understand out of the gate that like, hey, I'm not, I'm drawing on your kind of what you told us about Amazon FBA and drop shipping. Did you kind of understand out of the gate is like, I'm not going to hit a winner right away. I understand this is going to cost some money to run some tests and to like try to find something. Like what was that like?
Yeah. So like all of the above. I knew that it would take time to actually find a potential winner or anything that I could try to scale. So it did take like a few tries, in terms of like creating message cards or even experimenting with some of the other necklace types. So it wasn't like right off the bat I started getting sales or even profitable sales. It did take me, a few tries, maybe, I don't know, a few weeks to actually start hitting something that I could profit from. So yeah, and I think I did take your course right around the time that I started, and that was something that kind of helped me with Facebook ads in trying to figure out and learn how to test and also to kind of scale when I found something that has a bit of a potential.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about like what were the when you were kind of new coming into uh, print on demand and specifically with Shine On. right? Because every print on demand's got a little bit of a different flavor. What were some of the more like kind of helpful nuggets that you learned that kind of helped you stay on course?
I think one of the things was specifically with Facebook ads. Um, like I was trying to remember some of your like your metaphors, like a whale or fishing. I think just drawing on my memory from your course is like you're throwing out your net in the ocean, and sometimes you're not going to find that whale, but if you find like a blue ocean sort of product, you can be first to market with that, and that is like one of the ways that you can scale a product without worrying about like all the competition, because your product is like one of the first ones out there, and so even before other sellers are or catch on to what you're doing, you're like way ahead of the curve. And that's one way um, to kind of minimize the level of saturation or competition that you might face, and just be like first to market with like a new sort of product that customers would not have seen. Yeah, so that was kind of like one of the things I kind of did, because in the Europe EU market, I don't think anybody that I know of was selling like jewelry products or even ShineOn products in that market. And that was kind of the reasons why I went there, because I tested the US, and it was kind of hard for me because I was new to selling jewelry products in the US, and I was struggling. But then I think I had taken like another course about selling in the EU, so that was kind of where I took that knowledge, kind of married it with ShineOn products, and went to sell in the EU. And it was kind of successful for like the first 2-3 months.
Well, EU is still wide open based on the data we're seeing right now. EU is popping off. So I want to kind of recap some of what you just said. So one of the things I taught in the course that Washington keeps referencing is I had kind of this fishing analogy I would use to explain the testing process. And I was trying to say that like just like when you're fishing, every time you run a test with Facebook or whatever, you're not always going to get a winner. You're not always going to catch a fish, right? But the idea is that you want you want the persistence to be able to stand there and either throw that net or cast the line, however you want to describe that, into the water repeatedly over and over and over again, and eventually you will catch something, right? That was kind of the idea. And I had a whole analogy in there about how different winning products kind of fell in different categories. Like you had some products that would just break even, and I actually had a fish that I would use to describe those kinds of products. I think those were like salmon. Then you'd have some products that would get you a return on your investment, but it was kind of a smaller return on your investment. And I had some other fish I would use to describe those, like marlin or something like that. But then I had whales, and whales were like, those were the big ones that made you tons of money. Like the screenshots we looked at earlier today, the $71,000 on a single day, that's a whale kind of product, right? And one of the things that I tried to make clear in the course was that when you catch a whale, you've got like winning products reveal themselves. You don't have to sit there with your ads and tweak and do all this stuff to know if you have a winner or not. They come out of the gate making sales. And then the entire time you're scaling them, at least this has always been my experience, you feel like you're just trying to stay caught up with the winner. And you always feel like you're 1 or 2 steps behind where you need to be to successfully scale that product. That's always what it felt like for me. So that was one thing Washington was describing. The other thing he was describing when it came to the blue ocean concept in the competition piece was this. And don't let me tell me if I get this wrong, but when you are drop shipping, you're drop shipping from the same pool of products everybody else has access to. And typically, if a drop shipping product is taking off, then everybody, like there are 100 other drop shippers likely that have their eyeballs on that product and are trying to also get it take off. So as soon as you catch something that's a winner, your time to scale is very limited, because there's so much competition in the space. First of all, before I get into the next part, did I articulate that correctly so far?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Perfectly.
the advantage, I think, to print on demand is this. Yes, everybody, for example, may have access to LoveNot. But what not everybody does have access to is your design. And it's your design and your phrase that makes your product unique, right? So if you hit a winning phrase, right, there's a good chance you're the only player in the market with that phrase for some period of time. Now, it may be a week, it might be 2 weeks. At Christmas, you're probably looking at a time frame of days, because there's so many more eyeballs. But the fact of the matter is you have a time period there where it's only you scaling that product. And there are so many advantages to that because your pixel gathers data. Facebook learns to give you preferential treatment in the marketplace. There's a ton of advantages that come with that give you a competitive edge. So I'm going to pause there because that recap took me a little bit, but does all that make sense?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and I'm glad you kind of explained the fishing analogy because I kind of forgot some of it. But yeah, you were spot on.
Yeah, so that's one of the big things about print on demand that I love too. Like I typically don't see drop shippers hitting giant single day figures like we do in print on demand. And I'm not saying it never happens. I just don't think it happens quite as often. And I think a lot of that just has to do with the competition in the space. Could be wrong about that. I'm kind of reaching for some theories there. But anyway, all right. So you're in print on demand. You're like kind of getting started. Take us, from there. So you're selling in Europe and you start to have some traction. How does that unfold?
Yeah, so having gotten a couple good months in the summer, I was really looking forward to Q4. And I think in October I was doing hitting close to a 50K month, and then the Facebook ban hammer came down on me, and so like there went my Q4 hopes and aspirations. So
Yeah, that sucks, man. They were going crazy in 2020.
Yep. And so, at that time, there was like multiple times now that Facebook had banned my account or banned my, profile or whatnot. And so I kind of told myself back then that I need to find a way to succeed without Facebook. Because if I intend on making, this e-commerce thing my full-time gig, I cannot afford to have my entire business be crippled just because I can no longer advertise on Facebook if Facebook is my sole source of advertising. So so back then, I still wanted to keep doing the ShineOn products, and so I started this whole strategy of trying to sell these products without like paid advertising, or specifically without Facebook. So that led me into doing Etsy, Amazon, eBay, Wish.com, or the Wish app. So I started going into all these different platforms, like, at the end of 2020. So,
Dude, so hang on. I just want to applaud you real quick on this, like, kind of never quit attitude. Most people would have thrown in the freaking towel. Most people would have just given up at that point. And
yeah, thought about it many times.
Huh?
I thought about quitting many times, especially when being banned on Facebook.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, that's a real it's a real kick in the pants when that happened. I've been there on that one. So Etsy, Amazon, eBay, and Wish. Did you have any, like, tell us what that was like?
And I think Walmart too. So of course, some of these platforms it works. Some of them it turned out to be a waste of time. Like for example, eBay. I didn't know that there was a fee to create listings, and it recurs every month. And so, if I wasn't even making a lot of sales on eBay. I was maybe making a handful of sales every month. And so I had tons of listings, after a while. And so with probably well over 1,000 listings, when the renewal came up each month, that's like, I don't know, I think it was like maybe $200 or $300. I don't know, maybe $500 every month. And that was a surprise for me because I didn't know I had to pay all that money up to eBay for these listings. So that was an epic failure. Wish was one where it's literally a race to the bottom. Like people were selling jewelry products similar to ShineOn, but they're selling it for like $2, $1. Like, how on earth are they making money, and how can I compete with that? So I struggled to do anything with Wish.com. So, but the thing I was trying to do is to kind of go as wide as I could, to be on as many platforms as I could, just to be able to, collectively make something substantial in terms of revenue. So, I had Etsy going. Etsy was, pretty good for most of the year. Amazon also was also pretty good. So that was my whole, multi-platform approach, just to be on as many platforms as possible and to kind of grow organically on these platforms. And some of them had like, paid advertising, but the whole goal is to, to rank and get those organic sales over time.
Yeah, you're trying to survive without paid acquisition. So
Yeah.
where do you have the most success?
I would say the top three, Amazon, Etsy, Walmart. Because Walmart is trying to compete with Amazon, so they're, so it's probably one of the next platforms that has good potential, but the barrier to entry on for Walmart is pretty high. So it's not easy to first of all get onto Walmart and then to actually get it to work as it would for, like, let's say Amazon or Etsy. So
I
yeah,
mean,
so I mean, yeah, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, collectively, I think my strategy overall worked because, after a while, doing all these listings, going as wide as I could, just churning out tons of designs, niches. I think towards the end of the year, it paid off because there was some organic ranking and organic sales coming in by the end of the year. But it was a
So
lot of work.
obviously you're still doing paid acquisition.
Mhm.
So what kind of success are we talking about here with those storefronts?
Um, so like so overall, last year the numbers were over $300,000 combined.
From,
All
from
the
Amazon,
platforms.
Etsy, and Walmart?
Yeah, combined.
Mostly organic, huh?
I would say probably 50-50 because I did run a lot of ads on Amazon, like PPC ads on Amazon. But yeah, it
That's
did pay off.
incredible, man. So that's incredible. How many listings are we talking about here?
Thousands.
Thousands?
Sorry. Maybe, well, not thousands, probably about 2,000.
Now, to be able to crank out, I don't want to go too far down a bunny trail here, but to be able to crank out 2,000 listings, you have to have some kind of process for that. Are you using VAs or how are you able to manage that kind of volume?
Yeah, definitely. I needed help. So in the beginning, of course, I was doing everything myself, setting up these platforms, getting the integration apps on my Shopify store to be able to push these listings. But after a while, I did train on, my VAs, and I have like an operations manager who kind of oversees everything, and that person can do everything that I can do except for like running ads. So I had that whole team in place. I had a graphic designer who helped with creating the designs. I had somebody who would do the phrase research, first of all, and then I had somebody who would be creating these listings. And then either myself or my manager, operation manager, would then push these listings to all these various different platforms.
Wow, that's incredible. So your ops manager was almost like a project manager for these. It sounds like.
Yeah, or like my right hand, right hand
Yeah,
person. Yep.
wow, that's incredible. I mean, 2,000 listings is impressive. Um, how many a day are we talking about here? I mean, it's like 5 or 10 a day.
Yeah, it could be because I had to create like detailed SOPs. I had this Google sheet, a massive Google sheet that had like, I don't know, tons of different niches. And for each niche, we'd had like a list of phrases. And for each phrase, we might test one or two or more necklace types. And so that's kind of how we kept organized and just go
That's
through that
crazy.
entire list over time and just be pushing these listings everywhere.
Wow, man, that makes my head spin. That's so many listings. At any rate, um, so that was rolling into what, winter 2021?
Yeah. So most of
Okay,
2021, that was what I was doing.
got it.
This whole, pushing listings everywhere I could.
But you still came back and hit a pretty big winner in Q4. So this is quite a wild journey, actually. Here, I'm just kind of taking it all in. So tell us about the winner that you hit in Q4.
Yeah. So, the I guess the limiting factor with this whole multi-platform approach is the scalability. We're at the whims of the algorithm and the volume on these marketplaces. So, if you want to scale to like a certain level, it's very hard for you to do that on these marketplaces. So I knew that I still had to figure out a way to do paid ads. And so in the summer, I bought a TikTok course just to learn TikTok because I was, starting to hear about this new. It wasn't really new at the time, but new to a lot of sellers.
New
This
to
platform called
marketers.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So I tested a dropshipping product in the summer, I think August time frame. I
Shame
did
on
about
you, man.
16K, but I couldn't do anything more with that product. It died out. But my whole goal with TikTok was to figure out how to sell ShineOn jewelry on TikTok. And I had been trying, all of September. October, I kind of slacked off because I wasn't getting any traction with TikTok. Like I could hardly make a sale. I would test out like slideshows, or I had the TikTok channel on my store, so I would create ads from my Shopify store directly, and just nothing, just crickets. But all along, I knew that if I could figure out if I could crack this code with selling necklaces or jewelry on TikTok, I knew that there was massive potential. So, fast forward to early November, I had set goals that I would want to find, at least one six-figure product on TikTok. And early November, I was no closer to realizing that goal than I was when I set the goal. And that kind of dawned on me that if I don't do something now, I'm going to miss out on Q4. So I
Right.
think after thinking about that, and for the next few days, I just really did some deep research on TikTok. Like I had the phone, and every day I was just on TikTok trying to, figure it out, trying to tailor the For You page to show me more ads, and ads of like jewelry products. I would go into the search bar and search up like necklace, or search up, something related to my niche, so that I could see what is out there, how are people making money with TikTok, and then try to bring that over to doing jewelry on TikTok. And thankfully, I did find a few ads and saw how they were doing it. So there was one that I saw. It was just a single image. It had over 1 million views. So I'm like, wait a minute, somebody's making image ads work. And then I found a few other videos where there were actually ShineOn products, but people were they were making it work because those videos had tons of views and engagement. And so that is what gave me the idea, because I had already tons of necklaces at home that I could make my own videos. I just needed some inspiration, or just to see how somebody was doing it, and then replicate that for my
Yeah.
products. So like the whole unboxing, opening the envelope, showing off the necklace, or opening the box and reading the message card. I was seeing some of those videos pop up, and so I just emulated that for my own videos. And then the very first product I tested, I didn't get any sale the first day, but I had like maybe 20 or 30 add to carts. So so I didn't give up. That was very encouraging. So I changed. I think I changed the product page the next day, and the next day I started getting lots of sales. So that's where it started.
So this was November at that
Yeah,
point?
that was like the first week of November.
Wow. So at this point, you'd never even hit like a break-even product on TikTok.
Nope.
And the first thing out of the gate is something that's going to scale.
Yeah, actually, the first product wasn't the one that I scaled.
Oh, okay.
It stopped performing after like a few days, but I was actually getting sales and getting profitable sales from that very first
But at
product.
least showed you it was possible.
Yes. Yep.
So how many, we're talking about TikTok now, how many products did you have to test before you found your winner?
So that first one, I think either pause it or or reduce the budget after a few days. I think the very next product was one that I already had tested. Well, not tested, but it was discovered earlier in the year because I got like over 300 sales from that one product on Amazon. And so I took that same product, tested it with TikTok ads, and from the very first day, it was just massive ROAS, and it just yeah, it was like this all the way up.
So it was a product that was doing well for you on Amazon.
Yeah, it sold during Mother's Day around like April, May. But I didn't really sell anything else. It didn't really sell again after that period. But
Okay.
I think, yeah, I just went back and looked at my catalog on the store and saw what had sales from these platforms and just tested the first one that had that had like the highest number of orders.
Well, no. So I guess what I was teasing out there was there's a not everything that works on one platform works on another, but it sounds like in this case it did. You had something doing well on Amazon, you
Yep.
ported it over to TikTok, and it also did well for you on TikTok. So
Right.
here, TikTok is kind of, it's still kind of new for a lot of people. They're trying to figure it out. What are, give us some tips here. Like, what did you kind of learn that made it so they could go from, basically not getting any traction at all to being able to scale this big product? Give us, 2-3 tips for the new people here on doing TikTok ads right.
Yeah, so I would say, content is king. So just creating your own videos, like having the product in hand, and shooting those videos. I think I was fortunate and blessed to already have a proven phrase, right? And design. And so, you just have to create as many videos as you can, or test as much as you can, starting out. And once you find something that has traction, don't just stop creating videos and trying to rely on that one, or the first video that seems to be working. You need to keep cranking out videos, because on TikTok, if you ever want to scale, you need to have just a constant feed of creatives that you can inject into your campaigns to keep it going.
And without giving anything away, can you kind of describe the types of videos that you see that kind of work?
Yeah, so like the first like tranche of videos were like those unboxing videos. I think at the time, and probably still is, there were a lot of like Amazon made me buy this, and so you'd have the box, getting the box in the mail and opening it up, and then just showing off the product, just demoing the product. So those are like one of the first set of styles that I use, like unboxing, showing off the product. And then I think majority of the other videos were just focusing on the message card itself. So highlighting the fact that the box has a pretty good wow factor, right? Having a box with with LED, like if you can find a way to show off this attribute about the box, that's a good thing. But the key thing is to always be focusing on the phrase itself, right? To draw the users or the viewers' attention to what the phrase is, so that they can have that emotional connection to the product. Because I think, and I think most of us know here, that the necklace or the jewelry piece itself is almost secondary to
It
the phrase that
absolutely
is
is
there.
secondary. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so those are like the main styles, just product demo, focusing on the actual box itself and the phrase that's there.
Yeah, very cool. So that was Q4. So you took something that worked for you or had some proven sales on Amazon around Mother's Day. You kind of brought it back as just one of your tests. You didn't know if it was going to work. And by the way, based on your personality and the story so far, if it hadn't worked, I'm sure you would have kept on going.
Yep.
And
And I did keep on going,
yeah,
even
yeah.
after finding that one.
Well, dude, I keep telling everybody, if you don't give up for long enough, you win. That is like the secret to succeeding in print on demand. You just have to outlast all your failures. That's literally all it is. Eventually, you win. Um, So okay, so that's Q4. So how much revenue did you do in Q4 alone, based on like on your TikTok scale?
Yeah, so for Q4, so it wasn't just that one product. I did find, there were a couple others that I found during Q4. So I think I probably had three products going at the same time. That's how I was able to get to, you know, 70K a day, which I did twice. 2 days in a row, I did hit that 70K mark. So for the entire Q4 on that one brand, that one store, did about 950K. And that was, during that 6 week period from early November to end of December.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so what about 2022 now? So you have a big Q4. I'm sure you were kind of pumped after that, and feeling inspired and motivated. So 2022 rolls around. What happens?
So 2022, of course, beginning of the year, I'm like, with this success, I can definitely quit my job in the next 6 months. On my 10-year anniversary, I'm going to be quitting. So that was like start of the year. That was my goal. But even before I got to that point, I'm like, I need to prove to myself that this wasn't a fluke, that I didn't just get lucky with TikTok in Q4. I need to be able to repeat this and, keep it going. So I also set a goal of like maintaining like a 6 figure month, like every month. That was what I wanted to do, because if I could do, almost 7 figures in 6 weeks, I should be able to do 6 figures in 1 month, like every month. So January and February were pretty good because I did hit that benchmark, around Valentine's Day, which, I mean, I was still surprised that I was able to do, still keep doing well, because January is like typically a slow month unless you're selling like fitness products. It's pretty slow. But I was able to continue that momentum into January and February. Yeah, and then I
All
was like,
TikTok still?
yes, pretty much all TikTok. Yeah, so Q4 was
What
all TikTok.
what was the spread between like let's say TikTok sales and well, what was the spread between, I guess, paid acquisition, all paid acquisition, and organic?
Um, for the entire year, um, paid was probably, I don't know, 1 mil, and then I would say organic was probably 200,000 or
Okay,
less. Yeah,
but still, I mean, organic, it's free money, so
yeah.
that's pretty freaking good. What was your profit margin on paid?
So for Q4, TikTok probably at least 30% nets.
Yeah, that's pretty typical with paid, especially when you're on a winner. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So that's good. That's awesome. Okay, let's keep going. I got us off track a little bit. So you've proven to yourself that you could do it in January and February.
Yep. And so right now I'm on the trajectory of, quitting my job, getting closer to that point. So I mean, doing 6 figure months twice now, right? January and February, I'm like, okay, I've proven to myself that I can do this. I can survive on my own. So I moved up the resignation day to like March.
Does your boss know yet?
No,
Okay,
no.
you were just planning. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is all like within my family. But the thing is, like, um I didn't want to leave before bonus, because I know bonus is paid out a certain time in March every year. So I'm like, I at least have to stick around until March to get that bonus. But the thing is, once I got the bonus, like, I didn't have any sense of urgency to leave anymore. I'm like, either because it was guilt, like, oh, you just got your bonus and you were only waiting on bonus to leave, or maybe I just didn't muster up that confidence to, take that leap. So March came and went, and then um I moved the goalpost again to say, all right, I need to prove that I could do well with
So
Mother's Day.
can I ask a question real quick?
Yep.
So uh, answer this in as little or as much detail as you feel comfortable. Okay. Keep in mind, everybody's watching. I'm trying to get a feel for how comfortable your job was from like a salary perspective. Are we talking like, are we in like good, healthy 5-figure range? Are we talking 6 figures? And again, as much or as little details you feel comfortable sharing. But like, where are we at as far as that goes?
Yeah, so it was like a senior software engineer role. So it's a pretty good salary, like high 5 figures, or if you add in like all the benefits, it's well over, well, not well over, but it's over that 6 figure range. When you're adding
So,
all the paid benefits.
so you're very comfortable, and
Mhm.
the goalpost is relatively high too for being able to quit your job, because it's
Yeah,
not like you're making minimum wage, for example, where it's a heck of a
right.
lot easier. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And it's benefits and everything else. So okay.
Yeah.
So you move the goalpost back.
Yep.
So you did great in Q4, great in January,
Yep.
great in February,
And March.
and not quite ready to bite the bullet, push the goalpost back to
Right.
after Mother's Day. So
Yeah, because I wanted to again prove to myself that I could do this,
you
and
were
and
you
be
were having some
stable.
mental hurdles you were trying to get
Yeah,
over. Is what
right.
it sounds like.
Because it's a great job in terms of, like everything. It's stability, the pay, and of course, having been there for like a decade, um, you know, I had to have everything in place. I had to dot all the I's, cross all the T's to make sure that everything, once I make this decision, there's no way I can regret it.
Yeah,
Um,
I understand.
yeah.
I think most
So
people in jobs right now are probably sympathetic with that.
yeah, yeah. So like I had very, very strict criteria to leave. Like the two main ones was, I had to be replacing my full-time income, um, and keep doing that, consistently. Plus, I had to make sure that I had a substantial safety net in place. Not just the I guess the industry standard of, oh, you have to have 6 months saved up in case you get fired or you lose your job. We had to make sure that we had, well more than that saved up.
So I keep hearing you reference like we, and you talked about you were like my family earlier. Are
Yep.
you supporting more than just yourself here?
Yeah, yeah, basically. So my immediate family here, my wife, my son, and then of course I have extended family um back home in Jamaica, and other family within the US. And like every time I'm thinking about this decision, they are in my mind. Like, this is not just about me. I have to make sure that once I make this leap, like everything is still in place. I don't have to be worrying about, okay, where is mortgage going to come from? Where is our living expenses going to come from? So like everything just had to be as
Are,
perfect as could be before I could leave this job that has been, really good to me for all these years.
are you the sole breadwinner? Or
Yes.
okay,
Yeah. At
so
least for
there's even
my
more
immediate
pressure.
family. Yeah.
There's
Yep.
even more pressure. Okay, all right,
Mhm.
got it. So there's high stakes here.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I wouldn't criticize you at all for trying to make sure that this is like 100% the right move
Mhm.
for you and your family. Okay, all right. So Mother's Day.
Yeah. So Mother's Day, and again, did very, very well. Because I was not only on TikTok now, I was on several different platforms, and everything is like firing really well. Did that 300K gross month. I think it was April or end of May. One of those months, it was like a 300K month. So now, like everything has aligned. I have everything set in place. My health insurance plan, 401K, like everything is now, fully locked and in place. All my criteria for quitting have been met. So what am I waiting for? That was the question that kept coming up.
It wasn't just your criteria for quitting was met. It was met
Yeah.
once, and then the additional criteria was also met. So
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, so logically there was no reason to keep working my day job because um, you know, it's something that I wanted to always do, well, at least for the last 5 years, it was a goal or dream of mine to actually go full time into e-commerce, quit my day job. But it was just maybe just the emotional connection right now that I had to sever before I could actually offer my resignation.
So
Yeah.
what happened?
So I think it was early May, or yeah, early May. We kept on having these discussion. My wife and I, we went through all the what ifs, like, what if I quit today and tomorrow the business goes bankrupt? Like everything that you could think of, we were going through that. And like one of the things I remember telling her is, at least if I quit tomorrow and the business goes under, at least I can give myself like a 1 year hiatus or a 1 year sabbatical where I don't have to work, or at least we can just relax until the
It's
savings
like,
run out.
hey, I quit my job. If the business goes under, we'll be on vacation for a while. Just think
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
like that.
right. And if I have to go back into the workforce, I'll go back. It's not like I'm quitting my career or my
Yeah.
experience. I still have that. So if I need to go back to work, I'll go back to work. But I think one of the
Wow.
things that helped me make that decision was, of course, having everything covered, all our bases covered. But I remember my wife telling me that, it's time for me to realize my dream, because she knew I had all these plans, these goals in mind for a few years now. And, finally I can actually realize the dream. So she said, yes, it's time for you to realize your dream.
That's amazing.
And yeah, and that helped
Congratulations,
me
man. Good
make
for
that
you.
decision.
Okay, so when is this conversation happening? Is this May?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
I mean, we had
So
many conversations, but like as we
so
got
you have
closer.
this kind of man in the mirror moment where you're kind of sizing up your life, and the wife gives you the head nod and the thumbs up, and you've got the nest egg now, and
Yep.
it sounds like emotionally things are settling. Did you give your 2 weeks?
Yes, I did. So, I mean, mostly I've been working remote. So, I called my manager, told him my plans, and yeah. And then after I got off the phone, because I had written and here's the thing too, I had written my resignation letter for like, I don't know, maybe 2 months prior. It was ready to go. I kept changing the date, the effective date on it. So after that call, I emailed him the letter, and yeah, it was a very very emotional moment after that. Like crying tears, but happy tears after that.
Were you elated, kind of thing?
It was a huge sense of relief, knowing that yes, I finally set about this goal, this dream, and it's here. So it
That's
was awesome.
amazing, man. Good for you, dude. That's incredible. Take us I want to go a little deeper kind of in that moment. So you set up a call with your boss? You gave me the 2 weeks on the phone?
Yeah, I mean, I told him of my intentions that, yeah, I'm going to be leaving. Like gave him the reasons, sort of like some of the reasons.
What did he think of did you tell him about the ecom thing?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I told him I'm going to be running my own company. And it's like, yeah, it's e-commerce.
And what did he think of that?
Yeah, he was very like supportive of it. It sounded like, if he had like the opportunity to do it, it's something that he would certainly do as well.
It sounds like you got a lot of really good people in your life, man.
Yeah, yep, for sure. I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. So you give him your 2 weeks. He accepts it. I mean, what did that? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it was, yeah, it's still very very, I don't know, surreal. Because like here's the thing, I've been working there for like so long, and it was kind of hard making that step. Like a lot of my life here, in at least in the state, revolved around going to that job for the past decade. So now that I'm no longer going to be doing that, it's a huge shift in at least in my daily life. And yeah, but at least now I have lots of opportunities to do whatever I want. And if I wake up one morning I don't feel like working, I don't have to work. At least until the savings run out.
Yeah. Until you need to eat again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you on that. So did your wife know you were having the giving your boss the 2 weeks at that moment,
Oh
or
yeah. She was
okay?
right there, like all the way. Like when I
Yeah,
hit
that's
that enter, actually she helped me hit that push that enter button to send the the email. She
that's
was right there.
that's amazing, man. Good for you. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
That's that's just so cool. Everybody in the chat here, they they're loving it. You gave Gail goosebumps. So that's awesome. So, we got a lot of people kind of here in the chat, um, or that are watching this that want to do kind of the same thing, right? So, how, like, what advice would you have? Let's pretend somebody they're working a full time job, they're doing this on the side, they want to turn it into the a full time thing like you have. What advice would you give them?
So one of the I think the main things that I was always worried about is just the stability of e-commerce. If you have like if you're just advertising on one platform like Facebook and you get banned, how are you going to keep making money? You have to start over again from scratch. So you have to ensure that you are comfortable with the stability of your business. Like if you're going to make it your full-time thing, you have to have things in place to make sure that if one thing goes wrong or two things go wrong, you can still keep the business going. So that's like one of the main worries that I had. And once I implemented like a lot of my strategies, like being on different marketplaces or having several Shopify stores, that kind of helped to build some resiliency into the business, so that you're not just at the whims of one platform, but you can keep going and have some stability there. The other thing is to just know as much of your numbers as possible. Like before I made this leap, we carefully went through all our living expenses, and I had two spreadsheets, one for the business, one for personal, and I made sure that I tracked everything, all the expenses, and projected out, how much money do we need each month to meet all our expenses, both business and personal. How much money do we need for the next 6 months or the next 12 months? And so that is a spreadsheet that we refer to time and time again, as I was making that decision about when to actually quit. And I think the third thing is to have all the things in place to maintain your lifestyle once go full time. Once you go full time in e-commerce or quit your 9 to 5 job. And so for us, one of the big things was having that medical insurance taken care of, because that's a big thing here in the US. So we had a plan to continue that health insurance plan once I left my company, because I got health insurance through them. So had that in place, 401k, make sure that's not a worry, and anything else that you would have been getting from your full-time job, just make sure that you either have some continuation plan for that, or you have some alternative to keep it going.
What about goal setting? Because throughout this entire interview, you've talked goals and systems over and over and over again. I mean, I've heard that it's been a very common thread. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, for sure. So as I mentioned earlier, with I set a goal with becoming successful without Facebook. And you saw that was like a huge journey in and of itself. But it started off by having that goal and purposing in my mind that I am going to succeed without Facebook. And that led to like an entire year of building out these marketplaces. Another example, I think in just before Q4 last year, my wife and I, we went through all the major pieces of our business and we set goals for each of them. So like for TikTok, we had a goal of at least one 6-figure product. No matter what it is, we needed at least one 6-figure product. For like Amazon, we said maybe we need to do $15,000 in revenue, or maybe it was profit, probably revenue. So we had that goal and we just went through each of these big pieces and we set goals. And I think there's something, to be said about having goals like tangibly written down somewhere. Because, as entrepreneurs, we have so many things going on in our minds that, if we don't have our goals written down somewhere, it's like we kind of forget, we get lost into the weeds of running the business every day. So it was very helpful for me to have these goals to kind of keep me accountable, keep me focused, and to kind of refer back to them from time to time, just to kind of have a sense of direction, especially when I'm doing all these different pieces of my business.
So where did you write them down?
So I think I used Asana to manage some of the
That's
business
just a
stuff.
project management
Yeah,
tool
project
like
manager.
Trello, or
Yeah.
for anybody here that's listening. So you just wrote down the goals in there. Did you review them
Yep.
regularly? Like,
Not regularly, maybe a few times throughout Q4, but I had I think different folders for each of the different major pieces, and I would just go into them from time to time, just kind of see where things are, and pivot if I need to pivot, or just as a reminder of what I really need to focus on.
I want to stay on this goal thing for a minute, because I think there's more let's say more kind of power behind this than you probably realize, and that is being led on here. And all I mean by that is like, um, way back before you were successful, the goals and the systems thing was still a theme, right? Like, it's kind of the one thing that's been there from before you had success to after you had success. So you write down the goals in Asana. It doesn't sound like you have a system for reviewing them, but here's a question: did every goal then get like its own system to help achieve the goal? Or what did that look like? I mean, once you've got the goal, how did you go about actually hitting it?
Yeah, I don't think I necessarily had like a system in place, but I think I tried to like just organize things as much as I could. It's like, as I said, I had these different buckets or folders on Asana, and like under like on TikTok, I might have like a folder for potential products to test, or a folder for learning material or resources. So I just try to kind of gather like necessary resources, or just try to organize myself as much as possible, so that if I need to like quickly refer back to them or to find them, I can just quickly go there and find out what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Very cool. So here, I'm going to run through what you shared, and then you just tell us if we're missing things. So you said the four kind of pieces of advice for new people: build stability, right? Don't be completely dependent upon a single channel. Know your numbers, so business and personal, so you can stay on top of all your key metrics. And plus, if you're going to take the leap and quit your job, to make sure you can actually do that. Replace all the benefits that your job provides before you take the leap. So if the job gives you medical insurance and that's important to you, make sure you have that covered before you just take this leap of faith into your own thing. And then finally, goals and systems. Any other pieces of advice we're missing here?
Um, yeah, just focus. I think your last interview with Matt, you mentioned like shiny object syndrome. So just focus as much as you can. So like for my journey, the last 2 years or so, I've just been focusing on jewelry products and jewelry through ShineOn. So at a macro level, you can just focus on one category of products, or even at like a micro level, you can focus on like a specific niche within that category. So it certainly helps to keep focused. And even during like right now, summertime is kind of hard to sell products, at least for my niches. So like now is the time to not like jump ship and go and do like a bunch of other things just because revenues are down. But now is the time to like focus and prepare, get yourself ready for Q4. So focusing is like also a big thing, I believe people should kind of keep in mind.
Yeah, very good. That's awesome, man. That's super admirable. if you guys have appreciated this time we've spent here with Washington, do me a favor. What do you have a favorite emoji? Most people don't. Some people do.
The rocket.
Rockets. Let's drop some rockets in the chat here. Let's give Washington some rockets. Let him know you appreciate him coming on today. Let me go through some comments here real quick. We won't spend a ton of time on this. Let's see. So Facebook user asked, this is probably too big of a question, I think, to answer here. Could you please outline some simple design, testing, optimization, and scaling steps on Facebook and TikTok? That's probably too much to answer, but if you want to take 30 to 60 seconds here and give it your best swing, you can.
Sure. So for Facebook, well, right now I'm like TikTok first. So if something is working on TikTok, you can just, shoot it over to Facebook, test it with Reels or story ads. Simple design testing tips. So I have like pretty much all or most of the jewelry samples in house. So I shoot all my videos myself. You need good lighting. So if inside your house is pretty dark, if you don't have good lighting inside, shoot your videos outside during the daytime. Have multiple angles, multiple hooks when you're testing. Just rinse and repeat until you find something that works or that has some potential, especially for TikTok.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for that. All right. Look, you have some fans. They're all named Facebook user, but yeah, look at that, dude. I think this was very inspirational. I think a lot of people resonated with having the full-time job and trying to do this on the side. And also, it took 6 years for you to make it happen, right? The good news is, people don't have to start where you did, which is like not basically knowing what to do and like fumbling around with Amazon and then drop shipping. Everybody here watching this, you can all start with ShineOn. So you're going to shorten the curve here significantly. So you are getting a head start. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, that's awesome. So Washington, let me get this up here real quick. People want to learn more about you. I know you've got a Facebook group and a YouTube channel. You want to talk about those real quick?
So the Facebook group, it's like kind of my repository of, what is working or kind of sharing my results. Started it maybe a couple months ago, and in there I have, videos and just kind of, charting my journey and progress through there. So kind of I guess a neat place to kind of see where things are and kind of where I'm coming from.
This is a Facebook group?
Yeah, the Facebook group. And then there's the YouTube channel. Yeah, YouTube channel. That's the channel I started way back when I was doing Amazon FBA, but it's also a place where I plan to kind of, put out more content about what I'm doing and some of the ideas and things that are kind of working for me.
Yeah, amazing. So if you want to stay connected with Washington, obviously he's in the ShineOn Facebook group, so he'll be around there. But you can also go join the Print on Demand Scaling Secrets group or Freedom Seekers, which is his YouTube channel. If you want to learn more. Let's go ahead and move to wrap this up, dude. Seriously, I thank you for coming on. I really appreciated that. Like how here, I'm gonna go full screen for this real quick. I really appreciated just how kind of humble and honest you were for, like, as you told us kind of your entire journey. I also just, man, the never quit kind of attitude I find just incredibly inspiring. The fact that you hit some pretty significant walls that for a lot of people would stop them in their tracks. Like, for example, I know many people that lost their Facebook accounts just because, Facebook was being so strict in late 2020. They completely got knocked off the horse. They never got back on. They just completely quit. And I love how you said, okay, well, that just means I need to make myself unstoppable, right? Like if I've just learned I cannot be single threaded here on one channel. I need to branch out and build redundancy into my business. That's just, I don't know, that part in particular from your story really stands out to me. It resonates. I've seen a lot of people that as soon as they experience a challenge, they completely fold their hand and walk away from the table, and you didn't. And I don't know, I really appreciated those parts of your story in particular. I also, when you were talking about, wanting to quit your job, and you were kind of like, well, maybe I need to do this first. And then you did that. And you're like, maybe I need to do this one more time. And then you did that. And you're like, well, let's see how Mother's Day goes. I found that kind of funny, because I think anybody with a full-time job who got used to the stability of a paycheck can resonate with that deeply. So just thank you very much for sharing. It was great having you on.
Yep. It was my pleasure for sure coming on.
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so real quick, let's wrap up. Do me a favor. If you guys enjoy these interviews, you enjoy what ShineOn brings you, the innovation on the software, the innovation with the products, the training, all this kind of stuff, please share us with your friends. We would love to get the word out to other e-com sellers that we're here, that we can help them reach their dreams. Do me sorry, we have a affiliate link, an affiliate program. It's gated, so you have to get at least 100 sales before it's available. However, if you've had 100 sales, you can go into your dashboard, go to analytics, then referrals. Up here in the top right, you have this magic referral link. Anybody you refer to ShineOn that signs up through this link and then makes a sale, you'll get 75 cents on. You'll get 75 cents for every sale they make. And we have many sellers that have made a lot of money through this program. So please take advantage of it. And finally, follow us at all these places. So we have ShineOn HQ at Facebook. You're going to notice we're really blowing up on social media now. We've got a lot of really cool content that Tammy's been putting together. We have some funny videos. It's just kind of a neat way to stay connected to what's going on behind the scenes at the company. We have our Instagram channel at ShineOn. TikTok, we're on TikTok now. ShineOn Official. And then Twitter at Real ShineOn. So please go follow us there. And until we see you next time, thanks everybody for joining, and happy selling. Take care, everybody.
Take care.